This video is for educational purposes. Cosmopolitan Bengaluru, formerly Bangalore, is one of India's most progressive and developed cities, blessed with a benevolent climate, a modern metro system, and a burgeoning drinking, dining, and shopping scene. Its creature comforts are a godsend to the weary traveler who has done the hard yards off the beaten track, and it's a great city for mixing with locals in craft beer joints or quirky independent cafes. You'll find lovely parks and striking Victorian-era architecture. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends and families. Known as both the Garden City and the Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore, officially Bengaluru, is a techie's paradise, boasting the highest concentration of IT companies in the country. When you're done geeking out, there are plenty of gardens, museums, natural features, palaces and temples to fill your dance card. Visit Vidhana Soudha, Cubbon Park and the Ulsor Lake of Bangalore, well known for its beautiful locales and boating facilities. Bangalore is also a major center of Indian classical music and dance, and a vivid, cutting-edge nightlife. Having evolved gradually from being the Garden City to the Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore is India's third largest city. Bangalore is loved for its pleasant weather, beautiful parks, and the many lakes here. Bangalore is renowned for its eateries, street food corners, quirky cafes, coffee roasters and pubs dotting every corner of the city, serving cuisines from all over the world. Brunches, buffets, burgers, rooftop cafes, late-night eats, Bangalore has it all. Here, one can choose to take a long stroll through the beautiful Cubbon Park, shop in the many malls or street markets or hop into one of the many acclaimed breweries for a cold and refreshing drink. There are a huge number of beautifully decorated parks in the city that are ideal for going on a morning stroll or a jog. One walk through the 300-acre Cubbon Park or the botanical gardens of Lalbagh, and you'll know precisely why Bangalore is so famously called India's Garden City. But just like every big city, the unprecedented growth of IT in Bangalore has reshaped quite a few things, including rising temperatures, polluted lakes and heavily congested roads, especially in the newer areas. Aside from the central business and commercial districts, and the roads leading up to them, the neighborhoods of Bangalore are mostly quiet and serene, especially the older parts of the city like Jayanagar and J.P. Nagar. Bangalore is the capital and largest city of the southern Indian state of Karnataka. It has a population of more than 8 million and a metropolitan population of around 15 million, making it India's third most populous city and fourth most populous urban agglomeration. It is the most populous city and largest urban agglomeration in South India, and is the 27th largest city in the world. Located on the Deccan Plateau, at a height of over 900 meters, 3,000 feet above sea level, Bangalore has a pleasant climate throughout the year, with its parks and green spaces earning it the reputation of India's Garden City. Its elevation is the highest of India's major cities. The city's history dates back to around 890, as per the old Kannada stone inscription found at the Nageshwara temple in Bigur, Bangalore. In 1537, Kempegowda, a feudal ruler under the Vijayanagara Empire, established a mud fort, considered the foundation of modern Bangalore and its oldest areas, or peats, which still exist. After the fall of the Vijayanagara Empire, Kempegowda declared independence. In 1638, a large Adil Shahi Bijapur army defeated Kempegowda III, and Bangalore came under Shahaji Bhosle as a Jagir, which later became his capital. The Mughals later captured Bangalore and sold it to Maharaja Devaraja Vodayar II of the Kingdom of Mysore. When Hyder Ali seized control of the kingdom, Bangalore's administration passed into his hands. The city was captured by the British East India Company after victory in the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, 1799, which then returned administrative control of the city, along with the kingdom, to Maharaja Krishnaraja Wadiyar III. The old city developed under the dominions of the Maharaja. In 1809, the British shifted their cantonment to Bangalore, outside the old city, and a town grew up around it. Following India's independence in 1947, Bangalore became the capital of Mysore state, and remained the capital when the state was enlarged and unified in 1956 and renamed Karnataka in 1973. The two urban settlements of Bangalore, the town and the cantonment, which had developed as independent entities, merged into a single urban center in 1949. The existing Kannada name, Bengaluru, was declared the city's official name in 2006. Bangalore is considered to be one of the fastest-growing global major metropolises. Recent estimates of the metro economy of its urban area has ranked Bangalore as one of the most productive metro areas of India. The city is considered the pivot for high-technology-based heavy manufacturing industry, with numerous large multinational technology corporations setting up their headquarters there. It is home to many top-tier engineering and research institutions. Bangalore is known as the Silicon Valley of India because it is the nation's leading software exporter as well as a major semiconductor hub. Several state-owned aerospace and defense organizations are in the city. The presence of numerous notable sporting arenas in Bangalore makes it one of the country's sporting hubs. Bangalore is an anglicized version of the city's Kannada name Bengaluru. It was the name of a village near Kodichalli in Bangalore city today and was used by Kempe Gowda to name the city as Bangalore at the time of its foundation in 1537. The earliest reference to the name Bengaluru was found in a 9th century Western Ganga dynasty stone inscription on a Veera Galu, Kannada, lit. Hero stone, a rock edict extolling the virtues of a warrior. According to an old Kannada inscription found in Bigur, Bengaluru was the place of a battle in 890 CE. It was also referred to as Kalyanapura or Kalyanapuri, auspicious city, and Devarayanagara during the Vijayanagara times. An apocryphal story states that the 12th century Hosla king Veera Ballala II, while on a hunting expedition, lost his way in the forest. Tired and hungry, he came across a poor old woman who served him boiled beans. The grateful king named the place Bengaluru, literally, town of boiled beans, which eventually evolved into Bengaluru. Suryanath Kamath has put forward an explanation of a possible floral origin of the name as derived from Benga, the Kannada term for Pterocarpus marsupium, also known as the Indian kino tree, a species of dry and moist deciduous trees that grows abundantly in the region. On December 11, 2005, the government of Karnataka accepted a proposal by Jnanapath Award winner U.R. Fananthamurthy to rename Bangalore to Bengaluru. On September 27, 2006, the Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike, BBMP, passed a resolution to implement the name change. The government of Karnataka accepted the proposal and it was decided to officially implement the name change from November 1, 2006. The Union government approved this request, along with name changes for 11 other Karnataka cities, in October 2014. Hence, Bangalore was renamed to Bengaluru on November 1, 2014. A discovery of Stone Age artifacts during the 2001 census of India at Jalahalli, Siddhapura and Jadajanahalli, all of which are located on Bangalore's outskirts today, suggest human settlement around 4000 BCE. Around 1000 BCE, during the Iron Age, burial grounds were established at Koramangala and Chikkajala on the outskirts of Bangalore. Coins of the Roman emperors Augustus, Tiberius, and Claudius found at Yeshwanthpur and Hal Airport indicate that the region was involved in transoceanic trade with the Romans and other civilizations in 27 BCE. The region of modern-day Bangalore was part of several successive South Indian kingdoms. Between the 4th and 10th centuries, the region was ruled by the Western Ganga dynasty of Karnataka, the first dynasty to set up effective control over the region. According to Edgar Thurston, there were 28 kings who ruled Gangavati from the start of the Christian era until its conquest by the Cholas. The Western Gangas ruled the region initially as a sovereign power, 350 to 550 CE, and later as feudatories of the Chalukyas of Badami, followed by the Rashtrakutas until the 10th century. The Bigur Nageshwara temple was commissioned around 860, during the reign of the Western Ganga king Araganga Nitimarga I, and extended by his successor Nitimarga II. Around 1004, during the reign of Raja Raja Chola I, the Cholas defeated the Western Gangas under the command of the Crown Prince Rajendra Chola I, and captured Bangalore. During this period, the Bangalore region witnessed the migration of many groups, warriors, administrators, traders, artisans, pastorals, cultivators, and religious personnel from Tamil Nadu and other Kannada-speaking regions. The Chakanathaswamy temple at Damlar, the Agandapura complex near Hezaraghatta, Mukti Natheshwara temple at Binamangala, Kolashwara temple at Bigur, Someshvara temple at Ulsur, date from the Chola era. In 1117, the Hosla king Vishnuvratna defeated the Cholas in the Battle of Talakad in South Karnataka, and extended its rule over the region. Vishnuvratna expelled the Cholas from all parts of the Mysore state. By the end of the 13th century, Bangalore became a source of contention between two warring cousins, the Hosla ruler Veera Ballala III of Halebedu and Ramnatha, who administered from the Hosla-held territory in Tamil Nadu. Veera Ballala III had appointed a civic head at Hudi, now within Bangalore Municipal Corporation limits, thus promoting the village to the status of a town. After Veera Ballala III's death in 1343, the next empire to rule the region was the Vijayanagara Empire, which itself saw the rise of four dynasties, the Sangamas, 1336 to 1485, the Saluvas, 1485 to 1491, the Tuluvas, 1491 to 1565, and the Aravidu, 1565 to 1646. During the reign of the Vijayanagara Empire, Achyuta Deva Raya of the Tuluva dynasty raised the Shivasamudra Dam across the Arkavati River at Hezaraghatta, whose reservoir is the present city's supply of regular piped water. Modern Bangalore was begun in 1537 by the chieftain Kempgowda I, who aligned with the Vijayanagara Empire under Emperor Achyuta Deva Raya to campaign against Gangaraja, whom he defeated and expelled to Kanchi, and who built a mud brick fort for the people at the site that would become the central part of modern Bangalore. Kempgowda was restricted by rules made by the emperor, who feared the potential power of Kempgowda and did not allow a stone fort. Kempgowda referred to the new town as his Gandhabhumi, or Land of Heroes. Within the fort, the town was divided into smaller divisions, each called a peat, Kannada pronunciation. The town had two main streets, Chikkapete Street and Dadapete Street. Their intersection formed the Dadapete Square, the heart of Bangalore. Kempgowda I's during the Vijayanagara rule, many saints and poets referred to Bangalore as Devarayanagara and Kalyanapura, or Kalyanapuri, auspicious city. After the fall of the Vijayanagara Empire in 1565 in the Battle of Talikota, Kempgowda I declared independence. His successor, Kempgowda II, built 4 towers that marked Bangalore's boundary. Then in 1638, a large Adil Shahi Bijapur army led by Ranadullah Khan and accompanied by his second-in-command Shaji Bhosle defeated Kempgowda III, and Bangalore was given to Shaji as a Jagir, feudal estate. Around 1639, he ordered the reconstruction of the destroyed city and the building of new lakes to solve the water shortage in the region. In 1687, the Mughal general Qasim Khan, under orders from Aurangzeb, defeated Ekoji I, son of Shaji, and sold Bangalore to Chikkadevaraja Vodayar, 1673–1704, the then ruler of the Kingdom of Mysore, for 3 lakh rupees. After the death of Krishnaraja Vodayar II in 1759, Hyder Ali, commander-in-chief of the Mysore army, proclaimed himself the de facto ruler of the Kingdom of Mysore. Hyder Ali is credited with building the Delhi and Mysore gates at the northern and southern ends of the city in 1760. The kingdom later passed to Hyder Ali's son Tipu Sultan. Hyder and Tipu directed the building of the Lal Bagh Botanical Gardens in 1760. Under them, Bangalore developed into a commercial and military center of strategic importance. The Bangalore fort was captured by British forces under Lord Cornwallis on March 21, 1791 during the Third Anglo-Mysore War and formed a center for British resistance against Tipu Sultan. Following Tipu's death in the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, 1799, the British returned administrative control of the Bangalore Peat to the Maharaja of Mysore and was incorporated into the princely state of Mysore, which existed as a nominally sovereign entity of the British Raj. The old Peat developed in the dominions of the Maharaja of Mysore. The residency of Mysore state was first established in Mysore city in 1799 and later shifted to Bangalore in 1804. It was abolished in 1843, only to be revived in 1881 at Bangalore and closed down permanently in 1947, with Indian independence. The British found Bangalore to be a pleasant and appropriate place to station their garrison and therefore moved their cantonment to Bangalore from Seringapatam in 1809 near Ulsor, about 6 kilometers, 4 miles, northeast of the city. A town grew up around the cantonment, by absorbing several villages in the area. The new center had its own municipal and administrative apparatus, though technically it was a British enclave within the territory of the Vodayar kings of the princely state of Mysore. 2 important developments which contributed to the rapid growth of the city include the introduction of telegraph connections to all major Indian cities in 1853 and a rail connection to Madras, now Chennai, in 1864. In the 19th century, Bangalore essentially became a twin city, with the Peat, whose residents were predominantly Kannadigas, and the cantonment created by the British. Throughout the 19th century, the cantonment gradually expanded and acquired a distinct cultural and political salience as it was governed directly by the British and was known as the Civil and Military Station of Bangalore. While it remained in the princely territory of Mysore, cantonment had a large military presence and a cosmopolitan civilian population that came from outside the princely state of Mysore, including British and Anglo-Indians army officers. Bangalore was hit by a plague epidemic in 1898 that claimed nearly 3,500 lives. The crisis caused by the outbreak catalyzed the city's sanitation process. Telephone lines were laid to help coordinate anti-plague operations. Regulations for building new houses with proper sanitation facilities came into effect. A health officer was appointed and the city divided into 4 wards for better coordination. Victoria Hospital was inaugurated in 1900 by Lord Curzon, the then Governor-General of British India. New extensions in Malswaram and Basavanagudi were developed in the north and south of the Peat. In 1903, motor vehicles came to be introduced in Bangalore. In 1906, Bangalore became one of the first cities in India to have electricity from hydropower, powered by the hydroelectric plant situated in Shivanasamudra. The Indian Institute of Science was established in 1909, which subsequently played a major role in developing the city as a science research hub. In 1912, the Bangalore torpedo, an offensive explosive weapon widely used in World War I and World War II, was devised in Bangalore by British Army officer Captain McClintock of the Madras Sappers and Miners. Bangalore's reputation as the Garden City of India began in 1927 with the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the rule of Krishnaraja Vodayar IV. Several projects such as the construction of parks, public buildings and hospitals were instituted to improve the city. Bangalore played an important role during the Indian independence movement. Mahatma Gandhi visited the city in 1927 and 1934 and addressed public meetings here. In 1926, the labor unrest in Binni Mills due to demand by textile workers for payment of bonus resulted in lathi charging and police firing, resulting in the death of 4 workers and several injuries. In July 1928, there were notable communal disturbances in Bangalore, like when a Ganesh idol was removed from a school compound in the Sultan Pet area of Bangalore. In 1940, the first flight between Bangalore and Bombay took off, which placed the city on India's urban map. After India's independence in August 1947, Bangalore remained in the newly carved Mysore state, of which the Maharaja of Mysore was the Rajapramuch, appointed governor. The City Improvement Trust was formed in 1945, and in 1949, the city and the cantonment merged to form the Bangalore City Corporation. The government of Karnataka later constituted the Bangalore Development Authority in 1976 to coordinate the activities of these two bodies. Public sector employment and education provided opportunities for Karnataks from the rest of the state to migrate to the city. Bangalore experienced rapid growth in the decades 1941 to 51 and 1971 to 81, which saw the arrival of many immigrants from northern Karnataka. The Government of India set up the All India Institute of Mental Health (AIMH) in 1956. By 1961, Bangalore had become the 6th largest city in India, with a population of 1,207,000. In the following decades, Bangalore's manufacturing base continued to expand with the establishment of private companies such as Miko Motor Industries Company, which set up its manufacturing plant in the city. By the 1980s, urbanization had spilled over the current boundaries, and in 1986, the Bangalore Metropolitan Region Development Authority was established to coordinate the development of the entire region as a single unit. On February 8, 1981, a major fire broke out at Venus Circus in Bangalore, where more than 92 people died, the majority of them children. Bangalore experienced a growth in its real estate market in the 1980s and 1990s, spurred by capital investors from other parts of the country who converted Bangalore's large plots and colonial bungalows into multi-storied apartments. In 1985, Texas Instruments became the first multinational corporation to set up base in Bangalore. Other information technology companies followed suit, and by the end of the 20th century, Bangalore had established itself as the Silicon Valley of India. Today, Bangalore is India's 3rd most populous city. During the 21st century, Bangalore has had major terrorist attacks in 2008, 2010, and 2013. Thank you for watching this video. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends and families. See you in the next one.